I love you more. I love you most.
Yeah! Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Decent Wrestling Show. Just excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather at the moment. A lot of it was pre-recorded before yesterday and days before, so I'll be fine in those. But the Raw review, I talk about Momokogo, and the outro will all be a little bit subdued. Apologies in advance. But if you could make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and check out my latest MVs of my Yukihi and Tony D'Angelo, and also check out my friend's channel 7S3V3N. If you could go subscribe to him and like his videos as well, that would be great. Thank you. NXT opened with LA Knight. Yeah. Making his, he made his return last week, but his first return promo here. Cutting a promo on Grayson Waller. He's a fully fledged babyface now, is LA Knight. And I'm excited for his feud with Grayson Waller. Waller has gotten a restraining order against LA Knight. LA Knight praised him for that, but said you can't run for everyone because he has two choices: either lift the restraining order and get beaten up by LA Knight, or fight Dexter Lumis. Waller chose Lumis, and so we had our opening match of the evening as Grayson Waller took on Dexter Stereo Eyes Lumis. 3 stars, solid match as you'd expect from these two. Putting a good shift from both of them, and Grayson Waller picked up the victory as he should, but a solid opener and a win for Waller, and I'm excited for this Waller LA Knight feud. Yeah! Next up was the Dusty Cup opening round as the Creed brothers took on Briggs and Jensen. 3 1/4 stars. Quite a good match. Creed brothers are absolutely phenomenal. I love watching the Creed brothers wrestle. They are so good in the ring, and they are just going to be absolute stars, hopefully. You know, you look at Kurt Angle. I think they want at least one of them. I think one of them is really backstage apparently, and they see him as like a future star. But I definitely could see one of them breaking out as a solo guy and becoming a star. Because they are both of them though are damn good in the ring. So hopefully many years as a tag team before that. Dante Chen made his return. Apparently he suffered a leg injury, which is why he's been gone for the last 4 months after his debut. He was set to just have a squash victory against Guru Raj, I believe. But Duke Hudson also made his return and beat up Dante Chen, so that'll be that feud going ahead. I don't know who's going to win that feud, but I would expect Dante Chen would pick up the win in that feud. But it's a nice opening feud for Dante Chen. The aforementioned from last week, the Saray return promo. Hopefully she will be returning soon, and I'm hoping that she will be the one who gets the title of Mandy Rose later this year. Tony D'Angelo had a memorial service for Petey Poppins, who wasn't on this show. Closed casket service. Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes were both involved in this segment. I did really like that Carmelo Hayes quoted Kanye West to open it, and Trick Williams was excellent on the mic. Poor Vic Joseph got the brunt of the insults. But it was set up for the North American title scene. It's going to be Tony D'Angelo versus Cameron Grimes next week, with the winner taking on Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. You know what? I like all 3 guys, so I actually don't mind who wins this because they're all very talented. We got a promo package for Yulissa Leon and Valentina Feroz as a up-and-coming women's tag team. We'll see them in action. I believe it was Yulissa Leon, took on Dakota Kai. It wasn't a very good match, to be honest. Gave it 1 star. Dakota Kai did pick up the victory, but not an impressive performance. But I'm not going to judge them off just one match. We'll see how well they do in the next few matches for them. Bron Breakker and Santos Escobar does look to be being set up for the next feud for Bron Breakker. I expect Bron Breakker should be winning this. I've never been the biggest Santos Escobar fan, but I get why people like him, but he's just not really my style. His matches kind of disappoint me a lot of the time. Kaylee Ray took on Ivy Nile, and a surprise win for Ivy Nile. They're keeping her strong at 2.5 stars. It was because of a distraction from Toxic Attraction, distraction from attraction, and Ivy Nile picked up the victory. Then there was a big brawl afterwards with a lot of the ladies, which sets up a 6-woman tag next week. Solo Sikoa and Boa are going to have a Falls Count Anywhere street fight next week. That is going to be insanely good. I'm super pumped for that. Hopefully Solo picks up the victory, but he looks like a complete badass. I'm really becoming a big fan of Solo Sikoa. Then the main event, as Volta, aka Gunther, took on Roderick Strong, 3 3/4. A great main event as you'd expect from these two. They just absolutely killed it in the main event. Volta / Gunther picked up the victory and then announced his name change to Gunther, which pissed off the internet because I don't know why it's such a big deal. I mean, it's literally just a name change. It's literally not the end of the world. And if you think that someone can't survive a name change, then you don't think very highly of them as a talent, do you? But like, most of it's fake hate anyway. Just like there's so much fake hype on Twitter and stuff like that and social media. But great main event, good stuff, another good episode, enjoyable. NXT UK, Sam Gradwell was hilarious as usual, trying literally anyone to find a tag partner. Tried Nathan Frazier, who he did say that there's more cows than people on his island. And when Nathan said, you said that to me, and Gradwell's response, educational. And that no one can take a joke because he tried to get A-Kid as his partner. A-Kid was having none of it because he said, Spain, he disrespected Spain. So yeah, very funny stuff. He went to drive-thrus to get a tag partner and everything, calling up restaurants. Great stuff from Gradwell. In the end, he finally got Saxon Huxley, even after Kenny Williams was laughing at Gradwell for having no friends, and Gradwell told Kenny to wind his neck in. So then, in the match, which was a good match, over 3 stars, pretty dead, he picked up the victory as Kenny Williams got involved and cost Gradwell and Huxley the match. So it looks like it's going to be Sam Gradwell versus Kenny Williams. I'm excited for that feud. Hopefully they get some backstage segments and promos because it's going to be really fun. Because I just think they're both very entertaining. I hated Kelly Williams first, but he's amazing heel. Blair Davenport then had a great video package was done on her to build up her character as she will be, I guess, rebuilding herself towards winning the title of Mako. But really well done stuff. NXT UK is absolute class with these video packages, and there was another great one on Ilya Dragunov and Jordan Devlin's upcoming match, which will be an empty arena match, and I'm super pumped for that. It's going to be an absolute class match. Other things that happened, Isla Dawn and Amelia McKenzie had a decent little match, 2 1/4 stars, nothing special, but it was what it was. Isla Dawn picked up the victory. But the main event, I gave 4 stars, the Heritage Cup on the line. Noam Dar took on A-Kid. Of course they're going to have a great match, and they did here. Poor Shah Samuels lost his bet as Dar didn't win in the 4th round. He was none too pleased about that. But these two absolutely killed it. A lot of submissions, a lot of close things. Could have ended at any time. That's what's great about these British round matches. It's just super fun, great storytelling. But Noam Dar just managed to hold out for the draw, which means he retains his title, and I expect a rematch down the line. But happily that Noam Dar retained his Heritage Cup. He shouldn't be losing it just now. And I'm excited for his next defence, but brilliant performance from both guys here. Great episode of NXT UK, as well, I say great episode, it was a fine episode with a great main event. But that's, I think, 3 in a row now this year. Every week NXT UK's had a 4-star plus main event. It's a damn good show. Smackdown. Smackdown opened with a once again amazing segment with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and the Usos. Really great stuff, and they also played an amazing video package on Roman Reigns' 508-day record-breaking Universal Championship reign. We the ones. But excellent stuff here, and great acting as well from the Usos. as Rollins was saying that, you know, the Usos are actually the cornerstone of the bloodline. They're the ones holding Roman Reigns up, and the Usos seem to kind of agree with it. So I'm interested to see where that goes. You know what? I actually think that Roman Reigns should retain at Mania if he's going to fight Brock Lesnar and is the champion going in. And then we could see, even if that doesn't happen, I do want to see a Roman Reigns and Usos feud. I think that could be very interesting. I think that'd be really good, like his bloodline falling apart. That could be really good. But this was again a great opening segment. Some great burns at each other, and I'm super pumped for that match. It's going to be an absolute banger. We then had a rematch from last week as Kofi Kingston took on Madcap Moss. Big E got involved as Xavier Woods is injured and will be out for the next few weeks. This was actually a decent match though, 2.5 stars, found it pretty fun. And there'll be a tag match next week with Big E and Kofi against Moss and Corbin, which I'm sure it'll be a good match, but it's just filler at this time going into the Rumble. We then had another rematch from last week. Rematch City as Aaliyah took on Natalya. Aaliyah won via disqualification. And finally, Xia Li returned, the Protector. She had a cool entrance as she usually does, and she beat up Natalya. Thank goodness they haven't forgotten about Xia Li. Happy to see her back. Put her in the Rumble. Xia Li is just so fucking good. So good. Then we had a squash match as the Viking Raiders beat Los Lotharios. They really are done with Los Lotharios. They lasted all of like a month with their momentum. But Viking Raiders are getting a decent push. 2 stars. Decent squash match. Went about 2 minutes. Accomplished what it needed to with the Viking Raiders. And they will be taking on the Usos. I don't know when. Maybe at the Rumble. Maybe the week after. I don't know. We then had some mid-segments as Naomi and Charlotte had a match. Sonya Deville then got involved and we continued on the Deville and Naomi stuff. They're going to have a match next week. Or are they? Because this is like the 18th time this has happened. Just end this feud already. No one cares. Then we had Insane with Johnny Knoxville again. I'm sure it's not really my thing. It's not targeted towards me. Not a fan of Jackass, so didn't really care for it. But Sami Zayn was quite funny, but went on a bit too long. Ricochet and Sheamus, 2.5 stars. They didn't get much time, but it was a fun match. Sheamus picked up the victory. And Rich Holland's back, so that's good. Main event though was great, and again, Smackdown was quite mid, except for the bookends of the segments, the opening and ending. Again, Seth Rollins teamed up with Kevin Owens to take on the Usos. If Rollins and Owens won, the Usos would be banned from ringside at Royal Rumble. If the Usos won, Seth Rollins would not get a shot at the Universal title. So you knew who was winning. Rollins and Owens, of course, win in this match. 3 3/4 though. Excellent match. Great main event. Great pace, great action, and I'm loving the interaction between Rollins and Owens. And yeah, great stuff. Really enjoyed this main event. It ended because Roman Reigns got involved and punched Seth Rollins, giving him the DQ victory. And again, Rollins and Reigns is going to be a absolute classic at the Rumble. Monday Night Raw. So Raw opened with a Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley weigh-in. It was a very good segment. Cowboy Brock Lesnar is what we got to see. And yeah, it was nothing out of this world, but a solid segment, and Brock Lesnar is still very funny on the mic. Then we had a fun little match between Zelina Vega and Bianca Belair. I thought Zelina's British kind of accent was very funny, and Bianca Belair got to show off her strength and pick up another victory, so 2.5 stars. That was a fine match. We then had Kevin Owens versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship. A very good match, 3.5 stars, although with the same DQ finish. It's getting a bit tiresome now, but still a very good match. Dana Brooke teamed up with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley to take on Tamina, Carmella and Nikki Ash. Nikki Ash works much better as a heel, as a deluded heel, than the white meat babyface, but this was like a 2-minute match, nothing really happened, but Rhea got the victory. Then we had the Academic Challenge segment, which was wonderful. Gable had so much heat and he was very funny. He's got great comedic timing. I like the shoosh and the dope boo education was very funny, and Riddle said, "Can you put that into letters for me in a spelling bee?" So yeah, very, very funny segment. Gable lost the challenge, and Orton had some great intensity as well. Then it was Gable versus Randy Orton, 3 3/4. Just a really well done match with a solid story of working the leg, and Gable's RKO sell was excellent. Just a great match. We had another Bliss Therapy segment where she wouldn't stop talking. Doudrop and Becky had a solid interview. Becky was really good here, but Doudrop held her own. But it did actually make me kind of more excited for the match, but I'm still not huge into it. AJ Styles and Austin Theory had a awesome match. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely go check this one out. Theory looked amazing in defeat here. The Street Profits took on the Mysterios. I gave it 2.5 stars. The big moment was Montez's insane dive. It was a little bit botchy, but it was still a fun segment nonetheless. And the main event was the Maurice birthday celebration. Amazing heel work from Miz and Maurice. And they had a massive box in the ring that Miz feigned he didn't know what it was. Great play on that old trick. Because it was revealed to be just a big box containing the brick that Maurice used on Beth. Then Beth and Edge came down, beat up Miz and Maurice's security, and powered them through a table, while Miz and Maurice were scared and ran away. So yeah, fun final segment and a great episode of Raw. Really enjoyed it. Some notes about Stardom. So it was reported that Julia wants to win the red belt and defend the belt around the Joshi sphere outside of Stardom. She wants to defend it against other promotions and people from other promotions. That could be, I guess Ice Ribbon would be involved, maybe. Marvelous. Stardom has a working relationship with Marvelous. Sendai Girls is another possibility. And I'm trying to think of other promotions. Wave maybe, but they're very hard to access. But I think didn't someone shop at Wave before? Saida and Momo I think appeared at Wave before. So again, it's not without the realm of possibility. But yeah, maybe I don't think TJPW would be involved in that. They seem to be vying. They seem to be the top 2 promotions, Stardom and TJPW. But Stardom is like 10 times clear of TJPW. And they probably always will be because, well, TJPW seems to just rely on the old Miyu and Majirabi trick, which is not going to be forever. They need to build up someone with her. And it looks like, well, if they have Ito, she's probably going to leave to wrestle on Dark for the rest of her career, so they need more stars. Signing Mai Yukihi would be big, but I don't see it happening, actually, to be honest. We did have more Tekla cringe promos on the shows. She sounds like an 8-year-old trying to be cool. It's actually insufferable. There was a funny moment on the 16th of January show as Shuri defeated Mai Sakurai Ruaka and Waka Tsukiyama in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Ruaka's promo before with the Angels was really funny. She did not look happy teaming with the Angels. Just a really nice dynamic, I guess, between the three. Just really funny. And a fun opener. We then had one really good match on the 16th of December show, the match that I'd recommend the most, which was Mirai taking on Unagi Sayaka. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was a very good match. And the only thing is Mirai's offense was a little bit one note. It just didn't seem to have. She didn't seem to have a fully fledged moonsault moveset. And in 15 minutes, you really need that. And she took on most of the offense, and it just didn't click with me. Unagi's selling was good. Her selling of the arm was very well done. So it was still a very good match. But yeah, I think Mirai might be exposed against someone like Shuri in a long form main event. Hopefully I'm wrong. But yeah, Mirai still has a long way to go, but I think she will get there eventually. Some other notes on the 22nd of January show, which is the latest show I watched. It was Stardom Matsumoto Day-Clink 15th anniversary. What a name. Saki Kashima and Waka Tsukiyama, I gave it 2 3/4. It was just a solid, fun opening match. A little bit botches at times, which actually came from Saki and not Waka. But yeah, it went about 5 minutes. It was fine. I gave 3.5 stars to Unagi Sayaka versus Mai Sakurai versus Koguma. A really fun triple threat, very funny and good wrestling on top of that. Funny moments with Unagi throwing Mai Sakurai into Koguma and then rolling up Mai Sakurai to get the pin. She did that twice before Mai and Koguma turned on Unagi. Love you, Una, but you kind of deserved that one. But yeah, a lot of fun between these three. Really good match. Then we had 2 really great matches. 2 matches I gave 3 3/4. We had Hazuki and Mayu Iwatani taking on Dream H, Mina Shirakawa and Tam Nakano. Great match. They had a really great match. And I really want to see Mayu versus Tam again and Mina versus Hazuki. I want to see them in singles action against each other because they had really good chemistry. And yeah, no one was a weak link here. Everyone stood their ground and had a really great match. I'm disappointed that Mina took the pin from Hazuki, but Hazuki doesn't need to win. I mean, she's not challenging for a singles belt while Mina is. You know what I mean? It just seems, if this was anyone else, it would have probably been a draw, or Hazuki would have lost, but they don't seem to care about Mina, which is sad to see. We then had the other great match, which was Aphrodite, Sai Kamitani and Tami Hayashishita, defeating Maika and Syuri Ponishi. Yeah, as you'd expect, great match. Aphrodite work excellent together. Definitely one of the best tag teams in Stardom with the way they work with each other, and they're just phenomenal together. Just a great match. Maika took the pin as you'd expect with Syuri and there's the red belt champion, but I really enjoyed this one. Then the main event, I gave 3 1/4 stars. Too much Tekla and Momo for my liking. It was Julia, Mirai and Tekla defeating Momo, Ruaka and Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid was the MVP for me in this. I thought she was great in this one. And the weird thing is, and Mirai dropped Ruaka on her head, which looked just oof. Julia is wrestling in a shirt recently. I don't know if this is just a new thing she's just going to do on house shows, but it's just kind of odd that she's wrestling in a shirt. Don't really know why, but she just is. But yeah, the 22nd of January show from Stardom was a really good show. 2 great matches, a really fun triple threat, and a nice solid opener and a decent main event. And it was also announced on the 1st of February there will be a title match as Natsupoi will be challenging for the High Speed Championship against Starlight Kid. So Kito versus Poi 3, I think this is. I think this is the 3rd match. It might just be the 2nd match, but it's going to be a phenomenal match nonetheless. I expect Kito to retain, as she probably should. But yeah, Poi's back in February, so cool to see her back. On the 23rd of January, Momo Kogo made her Stardom debut, and against Unagi Sayaka in a fun match. I give it 3 stars. It was a solid match. I wish Momo got a little bit more offense in, but they told a solid story and it was still decent stuff. Momo definitely looked a little bit nervous, and there was going to be an adjustment period while she adjusts to the Stardom style. Then she didn't join Cosmic Angels. Unagi said Momo couldn't join Cosmic Angels. Momo said she didn't want to, and later on we found out she joined Stars, making Stars a decently stacked little group now. TJPW. So the 20th of January show from TJPW. I do a quick review of what happened in each 5 matches. We opened with a 8-woman tag as Majirabi teamed up with the Bird and the Cat to take on Passion Pom and the Gyao Express. 3 1/4 stars, really fun 8-woman tag, a lot of action, a lot of fast-paced action, and nothing overstayed its welcome. It was just a really fun opening tag match, and I really enjoyed it. Good stuff to open up the show. We then got on to the tournament matches, the Max Heart tournament matches, round 2. Idol Os, Moka Miyamoto and Yuki Arai had a match against Arasuzu, Arisu Endo and Suzume. Great performance from all 4 here. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was a really good match, and I'm really loving the aggressiveness and the feud between Moka Miyamoto and Arisu Endo. I'm really enjoying their interactions with each other, so I'm looking forward to maybe possibly a singles match in the future near the end of the year, and I think they could have a really, really good match. And of course, Suzume is always improving and very smooth in the ring now, and Yuki Arai is just insanely good for her little experience. So yeah, really good match. I enjoyed it, 3.5 stars. We then had the Bakuretsu sisters, Nodoka Tenma and Yuki Aino, taking on Free Wi-Fi, Hikari Noa, and now Kakata. I gave it 3 3/4, a great match. I really loved the teamwork between No and Now. It rivaled even at the teamwork of the Bakuretsu sisters, who are probably the best at teaming in TJPW. Maybe you could argue Hakuchamu are close, but I would probably give it to the Bakuretsu sisters, which is a shame that we're only going to get a few months left of them. So enjoy every Bakuretsu sisters match, because you know the next one could be their last. Hopefully they have a couple more left in them in the next couple of months on Nodoka's retirement road. But this was a great match. I really enjoyed the stuff on the outside, as now Kakata hit one of them with the ring post, and Hikari Noa slammed the other one on the outside. A lot of super kicks from Hikari Noa, some good, some bad, but mostly good. But great match, and the Bakuretsu sisters pick up the win, which I didn't expect to see. The semi-final was the amazing, elegant, beautiful, amazing, the best, greatest venue. Teaming up to take on the ones with the awful team name 1 to a Million, Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito. Great matches, you'd expect 3 3/4. I did expect a little more than when they did, but still a great match. I really loved that. So it started with Veni and Ito, and then Kamyu came in, and Veni kept breaking up the pins, each of the pins that Miyu was trying to do on Kamyu, and then running out of the ring. So they did save the interactions between Miyu and Veni to the later half of the match, but then they were great when they did happen. I really would love to see a singles match between them, and hell, if even a singles match between Veni and Ito would be banging. But really enjoyed this match, as you'd expect. A little bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be like a 4-star match, but it didn't quite reach that levels. But still great stuff between all 4 in this match. And Kamyu actually picked up the victory in this one, which I didn't expect. I thought Veni was going to win each match, but Kamyu actually picked up the victory. I didn't like Ito's selling of the Faye-Mouser. She went on her knees and it just didn't look great. But Kamyu pinned the International Princess Champion, which should give her a title shot. Maybe at the March show if Veni don't win the tournament, which they should be winning the tournament, because they're Venue and they are amazing and they need to win the tournament. The main event was Hakuchamu taking on Dick Dastardly and Muttley, Hypermizawa and Shoko Nakajima, and Hakuchamu is Miyu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi. Great main event, as you'd expect, 3 3/4. As I said, Hakuchamu rival the Bakuretsu sisters for the best teamwork in a team. They have a great team dynamic, and Mizawa and Shoko as well are really fun tag team. Hypermizawa obviously took the pin instead of Shoko because Shoko's champion contender. But Hakuchamu versus, I believe they're going to be taking on Idol Os, which I expect them to win and take on Venue in the final, and that is going to be an absolute banger. So, yeah, and Miyu Watanabe did the double swing again, which was awesome to see. So, great main event, and a really fun show. Actress Girls. So, I watched a bunch of Actress Girls shows over the past couple of weeks. The 20th of November, 5th of December, 11th of December, and the penultimate show, the 13th of December show. I still have yet to watch the final Actress Gold shows of the previous system, which took place in the 18th of December, but I'm sure I'll get around to it shortly. But let's take a look at these shows. We're just going to look at the highlights of each show. So the 20th of November, there was 2 great matches on this and a fun main event. The 2 great matches were Hiroyo Matsumoto taking on Hikari Shimizu, which I gave 3 3/4. Just a great wrestling match between these two. It's really nice to see Hikari Shimizu getting these spots against some great wrestlers. And I believe she had a match against Nagisa Nozaki recently as well. So it was really nice to see her against Hiroyo Matsumoto in this one. And she gave a hell of a performance. I absolutely love her kicks. And Hiroyo was on her game here tonight. So yeah, definitely check this match out if you can find it. Great match, 3 3/4. Really enjoyable. The other match I enjoyed was a 6-woman tag as Rina Amakura, Sakura Bonita, and Yuna Manase took on the wonderful team of Makoto, Mi, and Unimon. Again, I gave this one 3 3/4. I just thought it was a great match. My favourite part of it was Yuna Manase and Unimon's battle against each other, the battle of the Yunas, because they were hitting each other and they were like introducing themselves, like screaming, introducing themselves every time they hit, you know. So Unimon des and Manase Yuna des while punching each other, which really funny. Yuna Manase is just absolutely phenomenal performer. I hope she has an amazing 2022 and wins a title because she deserves it. This was really fun. All 6 of these women are very talented and really enjoyed it. And me and Unimon and Makoto had a really great team. They had a great team together. That team dynamic. That's the word I'm looking for. They had a great team dynamic. So yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. The main event was a fun match between Saki and Ayano Iri for the Colours Championship. The final defence, I believe this was. Saki retained until the end in a pretty fun match against Ayano. Ayano did a lot of drop kicks in this, but it's still a good match. Gave it 3 stars. They gave me the bat again. Oh good God, she loves that bat, that baseball bat. She loves hitting people with that. She goes absolutely mental with the bat, and it's great to see. So. It was a very odd match. There was watermelons involved as well, but very fun and weird, but I enjoyed it. The 5th of December show, there was some really good stuff on this one. And again, 2 great matches and 3 other fun matches that I think are worth noting down. Ayano Iri took on Yuko Sakurai in a fun 3-star match. Yuko Sakurai is starting to grow on me slightly. I'm still not a huge fan, but her suplex is beautiful. Yeah, she's growing on me a little bit, but I'm still not the biggest fan. But I like seeing Ayano Iri in singles matches, so I enjoyed this one, 3 stars. Then we had a really fun match as Mari teamed up with Natsuki to take on Haruka Kato and Natsumi Sumikawa. I gave it 3 1/4 stars. Maybe that's just being me because I like Harukaze or Haruka Kato in this instance. She looked amazing in this one. She didn't have the Harukaze gear. She had, you know, the shorts sort of thing going on. Yeah, I like this look of Haruka, and she had a great performance. I really loved her head scissors in this one, and she did a nice jump off the top rope, a jumping stomp, which looked excellent. But this was a really fun match, and again, Mari was brilliant in this as well. But it's just really nice to see Haru-chan, and yeah, good match, 3 1/4. Then we had a fun 3-way match, really hella fun match. This is really enjoyable. Just Mi is a brilliant at mixing comedy and wrestling together. Mi is really good at that, and she shined in this match against Hikari Shimizu and Rina Amakura. A lot of fun interactions, and yeah, just all round fun match. 3 1/4 stars. Then we had two great matches. The semi-final and the main event were both great stuff, as Miyuki Takase teamed up with Saki to take on W Momo in W Momo's second to last performance. Their final tag match, singles tag match. They did have a 3-way tag later, but this was their final singles tag match. And yeah, they went out with a bang. 3 3/4. I really enjoyed this. Momo Kogo and Miyuki Takase started with a lot of high-speed stuff, and it does show that Momo Kogo could be a good high-speed contender in Stardom. So it was really nice to see that. And yeah, Momokogo shined in this match. And Tani is brilliant as well. I mean, just both of them are phenomenal. I'm really going to miss this tag team, but they'll both shine in their singles careers because they're both phenomenal performers. And that's nothing to take away from Miyuki and Saki, who also gave great performances. Miyuki went crazy with chops at one point. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. The main event was Kakeru Sekiguchi and Miko Uono defending their titles against Ami Miura and Misa Matsi. 3 3/4. Again, I love this team of Ami and Misa. They're so brilliant together. I wish they had won the titles here. It would have been a really nice, cool moment. But not to be. But still, a great match. I really enjoyed it. Ami's chops were brutal, as they usually are. Just the sound they make are... Ami Miura versus Gunther would be an excellent match. Also, Misa's punches, my goodness, they were brutal as well. A lot of brutality, but everyone gave a great performance, and yeah, terrific main event. Then we had the 11th of December show. There was another 2 great matches and 1 absolutely excellent match, and 2 other fun matches I want to talk about. The 2 other fun matches were Misa Matsi carrying Chiaki to a good match. Great carry job from Misa here. It was a good match, yeah. There's nothing really more I can say. That Misa gave a great performance and was really fun in this match. Chiaki is not great, to be honest, but as I said, Misa carried her to a good match. Then we had Yuna Manase taking on Yuko Sakurai, and Yuko Sakurai picking up Yuna Manase for the suplex, like full-on suplex, with looking like no trouble. Super strength from Yuko Sakurai there, and another good performance from Yuna Manase, and it's always nice to see Yuna wrestle. Next was a tag match as Mari and Momo Tani took on Makoto and Momo Kogo. Yes, Tani and Kogo wrestling each other for the final time. Great match. Really short and sweet. They didn't overstay its welcome. Just was a really fun sprint. Went about, I think, 8 or 9 minutes, but a great sprint. 3 3/4. And I really enjoyed the stuff between Tani and Kogo. But yeah, great match. Hikari Shimizu teamed up with Saki to take on Ami Miura and Cherry in the semi-final. Again, 3 3/4 for this one. I really enjoyed the team dynamic between Ami Miura and Cherry. I thought they worked really well together. And of course, Galaxy Punch are a phenomenal team in their own right. And so they had a great match, as you'd expect from these. And Ami Miura, despite having the least experienced of the 4 by a long margin, especially with Saki and Cherry, she fit in perfectly. She didn't look out of place at all. So that's a testament to how good Ami Miura is, that she just fit in like this, like she had the experience that the others did. And in the main event, I gave 4 stars as the final tag team title defense for Kakeru Sekiguchi and Miku Ono, as they defended successfully against Ami and Rina Amikura. I would have given me and Rena the win here, but that's just me. But 4-star match, phenomenal stuff. Mi was absolutely brilliant in this match. I think I've said before, she can be kind of hit or miss, but in this one, she definitely hit. She was absolutely brilliant in this and definitely had an amazing performance. And it was a great back and forth tag team match with some great near falls. Could have gone either way, but in the end, Kakeru and Rono picked up the victory. And man, I'm really going to miss Mi, because she was just so much fun to watch wrestle. And you know, she had the bear and everything, and super cute. And her kick was really cool. I really enjoyed that spinning kick that she did. And yeah, it's going to be sad to see her go. But because she's retiring, she passed over the bear to Rina Amakura. So passing of the bear.
みんな思いも連れて、みんが連れてってくれるので、よろしく頼んだ。
Okay, 任せて。
Final show I watched was the 13th of December show, the final Kurokan show for actress girls in the current system, as Nokia teamed up with Sakura and Bonita to take on Ami Miura and Misa Matsi. Again, we got to see this awesome team again, and this was a surprisingly great match. 3 3/4, what an opener. That's how you open a show in Kurokan Hall. Excellent stuff, and yeah, Ami and Misa are goated for real. I really enjoyed this match, and you got 4 good performances and they're having a terrific match. Then you had a 3-way tag. Super fun match. Mi teamed up with Rina Amakura again to take on Ayano Iri and Yuko Sakurai. And the final appearance of W Momo as Momo Kogo and Momotani teams for the final time. I gave it 3 1/4 stars. Super fun opening. Last time we'll see Mi with the bear. This was Mi's final match, by the way. This one on the 13th of December because she missed the 18th of December show. And Momo Kogo and Momotani started the match by firing their weapons at the other teams, and one hit me right in the face, which was funny. But yeah, really fun match. I enjoyed this one. Then we get to see the epic team of Act Yasukawa and Sayori Anu taking on Natsuki and Natsumi Sumikawa. 3 stars. It was a good match. Pretty good match. Really cool to see Act and Sayori as a team. Yeah, just they looked epic as a team. They did the best they could against Natsuki and Natsumi Sumikawa, but they're not the greatest team. But yeah, 3 stars. Still a good match. Just cool to see. We then had Makoto taking on Mari, and I gave that 3 3/4. I absolutely loved it. I loved the chemistry they had in the ring with each other, and they gave a great performance, and Mari showed that she is a great performer. You know, she's just a brilliant wrestler, and Makoto always delivers, and so yeah, really enjoyed this one. Great match. The semi-final was Leon, my first Leon match, taking on Miyuki Takase. I'm not a big fan of Leon, but it was still a great match. I gave it 3 3/4, but I don't know, I expected a little bit more from her after the stuff that I've heard about her. Just didn't hugely impress me, but Miyuki was great in this one. There was some nice stuff on the outside with a big power slam from Miyuki Takase on the outside, which was cool, and lots of great near falls near the end, and yeah, great match. The main event, the final Kurokan AWG match in the current system, Hikaru Shimizu teamed up with Saki and Unimon to take on Kakeru, Miku and Maika Ozaki. Yeah, just a lovely ending match, 3 3/4, a lot of fun, great action. What more can you say? It was just a nice ending and a good way to end the show. Didn't end on anything like out of this world, but just ended on a great 6-woman tag match. So yeah, through those AWG shows, I enjoyed all of them. They were a lot of fun, and it's sad to see this company change systems. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do next week, and the 30th of January is the start of the new system. I have no idea what it's going to look like, if it's wrestling, if it's not, I don't know, but I guess we'll see. Thank you for listening to the Decent Wrestling Show, and again, make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time where I hopefully won't be sick.